live. Curk Mosley coming in right now as we speak. Brother Mosley, what is happening?
Hey man.
I owe you an apology, brother. I was in such a so most people know that I was supposed to be interviewing Rob Eastman tonight, and it yeah um, that fell through, right? So I'm like, okay, I got to fill this spot, right? And luckily, it was first thing this morning. I had a little time to do it. Uh, my favorite in the whole entire world, Sarah Beth, was like, "How about Kirk?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." I totally like blanked for a little bit. So I'm glad you were able to join. I'm glad you were able to
Yes,
do
sir.
this, and sooner than later, because we were talking and we were going to do this eventually, anyways. But it just worked out, and I feel like everything happens for a reason and everything's
Right.
in God's timing. So,
That's right, amen.
um, yeah. So, welcome in, brother. Welcome in, and
Hey,
we got just a few more minutes before the top of the hour, and we'll get going. Guys, tap the screen, share the live. Let's get as many people in here as we can. Let's talk a little bit about $5 entry per entry is $5 to my Cash App Red Dirt Disciple. Guys, this money for these tumblers are it's going to be my living expenses for a week in Nashville in June. So help me, help me, help me. Going to need those funds to live there for a week. It's not cheap to live in Nashville. So got some stuff popping off there. The studio I'm working with, going to be doing some work with CMA while I'm there. So guys, if you want a 40-ounce tumbler, good name brand. This is the same brand that Stanley uses. It's got my logo on it. My 1 Corinthians 13:13. That my platform is based off of. There is my sister right there, Sarah
hello.
Beth, coming in, guys. So check it out. Also, Coffee Bean Vet, we will be doing a giveaway tonight. So here's how that works, guys. I'm going to have a live goal at the top. Once I reach that live goal, the top gifter above and beyond that top goal will win the bag of coffee, flavor of your choice, whether you like light all the way up to espresso, the tumbler that comes with that. You'll get a Coffee Bean Vet decal. You'll get a Red Dirt Disciple decal, Arrowhead more than likely. So let's go, guys. It is now time for us to get this thing going. We've got 2 minutes before the top of the hour. My Cash App is $ Red Dirt Disciple, $5 per entry, as many times as you want. This is the very first one in production. There will not be any more this color at all. They will be black and red going forward in my merch store when that happens. I have this one and I have 4 pink ones. This is the first one in production. So if you want to enter to win this cup, $5 per entry. Winner will be announced on the 19th of January. All the funds go to my Nashville project. So, Rec, thank you for all the likes, brother. Thank you for coming in. Missed you, man. I know you've kind of been MIA. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you, and look forward to catching up with you, brother. Lots happening. We need to get together soon. We need to get together soon. So, top of the hour, Curk Mosley. Brother, what is going on, man? How's
Oh
Kirk?
man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Like I say, I want to start off, thanking you again for this opportunity, man. I know it's a fill in, but hey, like you say, everything happens for a reason,
That's right.
in God's time, like you say. So hey, man,
That's
I'm
right.
just excited to be here, buddy. How are you?
I'm great, man. I got my old fashioned here. I got good
Awesome.
friends. I got good company, and I'm doing what I love to do, brother. So I can't complain. And so it's a little bit about yourself, man. As much information as you want to give, this is your hour. I don't ask personal questions, so you kind of just fill in a little bit, a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of jump off into the general questions. Might have you kick us off with a song.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I'm a singer songwriter by night. I'm actually a maintenance tech and electrician by day. Here in the great state of Alabama, roll tide. Um, and yeah, man, I got a beautiful wife. Most beautiful girl in the world is my wife, and I got two wonderful babies,
Oh,
1 and 3. So we got our hands full right now, a little boy and a little girl.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so yeah, man, we're just doing what we can these days to stay awake. That's why I'm drinking coffee at 5 in the afternoon. So,
I hear you, man. I
but
hear you, brother.
But yeah, man, and I play little shows. I do some local gigs and stuff. I'm trying to break out into the bigger market. Gain a little traction here in the music world.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man. Like I say, thank you again for this opportunity, man. Hopefully, this helps both of us. So
Absolutely, man. I'm so glad you could make it. I really am. Now I mean, because I do have a long list of people wanting to get in. I'm
yes,
booked up
sir.
to April. So if you, hey, everybody, and you, if you know any parody artist, Rec, if you know any parody artist, I'm looking to fill Comedy Month up. I need 4 more artists for the month of April, and April's booked. And then we also have the full week of June. We're going to be doing 10 in-person live interviews from a studio in Nashville. So I have that whole week of Red Dirt Disciple live, and then it'll be back to normal every Wednesday in June. So, but I am looking to fill April here. May I'm looking to fill May and April. Actually, no, I think I'm already full on May. I have to look back. I'm looking to fill April with comedy, like comedy musicians, parody, anything just kind of just out of the norm, right? So that's what I'm looking to do in April. So if you know anybody, send them my way. And I know Rec probably knows a few. He knows everybody. Um, you guys don't follow my boy Rec Outlaw. Is probably one of my oldest friends on TikTok. I've known him for God, it seems like ages. So grab him up. Everybody follow everybody. So, uh, guys, my live goal is at the top 20 of the money guns, and the top gifter above and beyond that will get the coffee package from my sponsor. No more plugs. I'm done. This is your hour. It's tough, man. I'm gonna have to start making commercial spots for my sponsors. So general questions, man. I'm just going to kind of start out a little bit. We're obviously going to talk about your music and everything, but and have you start us off with a song. But before you do, what made you want to become a musician, man?
well, man, it went back to way back when I was a kid, man. I had a bunch of uncles and that would play. I had an uncle that had an old Martin guitar, man, and we got a local radio station here that plays oldies. I'm a country music person. I like Southern rock. I like country. But I cut my teeth on old country, man, and we got a local radio station that plays oldies on Saturday nights, man, and
Okay.
we would just sit out on the patio, man, and he would pick along, and my eyes would just be amazed at how he could do that, man, and
Yeah.
and I've always kind of had a passion for it, even from a young age. Now I didn't realize it until later in life. Kind of after high school, I started dabbling. And that the passion was always there though, and also my dad's a pastor here at our local church, and
Okay.
I started there too, man. When I
Yeah.
started picking things up, everybody sings in church, man. And that's the best place to start, in my opinion, man.
I tell everybody that, man. It's one of those things. Yeah, I've been in and out and had my hands in the industry for 20 plus years, and I can't tell you how many hands I've shaked and people I've met, and it seems like everybody starts in church, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So yeah, 100%. Pastor Nate, welcome in. Thanks for the gifts, everyone. Appreciate the love and support, guys. Really do. So
Yeah.
you have you have more you want to say on that?
Yeah, and so that I currently I'm the worship leader now. I took it over after our old worship leader retired. He was a big inspiration, man, because he was really pushing me as I was learning and doing things to get out of my comfort zone. That they say
Yeah.
you got to get out of your comfort zone to
Yeah.
grow. And so he was a real big integral piece. We actually lost him last year, but man, he was a tremendous inspiration, and he started me on the right path, and
Yeah.
I'm continuing it to this day. And like you said, it goes back to what you said earlier. The Lord has a purpose for everything,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I feel like that was my spot that he was leading me into. So
And he left a legacy behind, obviously. Yeah.
yes, sir.
So yeah, that's great, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you want to play a song for us?
Yeah, I can.
All right, let's go.
So
And,
I'm
and just so you know, it does not have to be Christian. Christian's great. Worship's great.
yeah. Um. So
Okay.
I'm a big story song person, man. So a lot of people tell me I play all the sad stuff, but I just enjoy hearing stories, man. That's what, to me, that's what music is storytelling. Um, and so that's what I do. So if you get tired of hearing story songs, man, let me know.
Hey, I never get tired of stories and songs, brother. That's, I mean, a good song should tell a story,
Right,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I don't know how it sounds on your guys' end, but so let me know if I need to go like closer or farther away or whatever. This is one of the first ones I learned, man. It like hit home for me when I heard it, so hopefully y'all enjoy it.
Right on.
Farmer and a teacher, hooker and a preacher, sitting on a midnight bus bound for Mexico. One was headed for vacation, one for higher education, and two of them were searching for lost souls. Well, that driver never ever saw the stop sign. When 18 wheelers can't stop on a dime. Well, there are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. That farmer left a harvest, a field and 80 acres, a faith and love for growing things in his young son's heart. That teacher left her wisdom in the minds of lots of children. She did her best to give them all a better start. That preacher whispered, "Can't you see the promised land?" As he laid that bloodstained Bible in that hooker's hand. And there are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. Well, that's the story that our preacher told last Sunday, as he held that bloodstained Bible up for all of us to see. Bless the farmer, the teacher, and the preacher who gave that Bible to my mama, who read it to me. And there are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, now I guess we know. Yeah, it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. Well, it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go.
Let's go, Bubba. You can't go wrong with covering a little Randy Travis, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, man. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Randy at all.
Yes, sir.
Unless you just can't sing and then just leave it alone.
He's good, man. And like I say, that's my influences, though, man. People that could write and tell a story in a unique way.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
incredible to me,
absolutely.
man. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
absolutely. And a good writer can write a song that relates to people that they've never even been through.
Right.
Like you just, yeah. We can talk all day about writing. So, which leads me to March is Writers Month. So all
All
month long I'll
right.
be interviewing all writers, And also tomorrow night I'll be interviewing Terry Joe Box with Tammy
Okay.
Marler tomorrow night on Tammy's platform. So for those who don't know who Terry Joe Box is, she's a multi-platinum songwriter that has worked with huge names. She's with the Jonas Group out of Nashville, one of the largest labels there. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's going to be a good time. I can't wait. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Every night, every interview I do is fun, but
Yes, sir.
that's definitely going to be a highlight of my career in this for sure. uh, Definitely. So, man, I want to say this: beautiful guitar, brother.
Thank you, sir.
I
This
love
was
that.
actually given to me by my wife. Uh,
Nice.
we were, I think that was we were basically newlyweds at Christmas, and
Okay.
man, she tells me I got too many now.
Yeah.
But she messed up and got me another one, man. But it's like that when you do
Yeah.
music, man.
Yeah.
You never have enough, all kind of
Yeah.
good jazz. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
she gets me with this beauty, man, and I love it. It's a breed love.
It's beautiful, man. I love it. I love it. It's great sound, beautiful guitar. But speaking of guitars and instruments, like what other instruments do you play anything other than the guitar?
So this is my main instrument. I pick around on the ukulele a little bit, which I mean, it's not that much different. I bought a banjo with the full
Okay.
intent of learning how to play the banjo.
Yeah,
And I think I learned. I saw the light, and that's as far as I got on that one.
I
But
got
that's
you.
what I do, man. I buy instruments with the
Yeah.
intent to learn, and then I'm like, man, then I get caught up with shows and stuff, and doing all kind of other crap.
Yeah. I know someone else that does that outlaw country on here on TikTok. You know outlaw not outlaw country. Dadgummit. Now my mind just went blank. Anyways, he
Right.
does that too. I'll be talking to him and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I bought this saxophone over here at a pawn shop the other day. I'm gonna learn how to play it." And like he just got instruments everywhere, dude. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah, I totally get it, man. And if you're that heavy into music, man, then why not? Why
Yeah.
not?
Right.
Why not?
Right.
Broaden your horizons. What instrument did you play in high school?
So I did somewhat. I got my first guitar when I was like 8 or 9, and I picked
Okay.
around with it some. Like I said, I
Yeah.
hung out with my uncles some, and they taught me, G, C, and D, and
Hmm.
whatnot. The main three chords of every song. But I took some lessons a little bit. There's a awesome musician here locally, that gave me some lessons. But then after high school, I fell out. Man, I started playing football and chasing girls and whatnot at high school. So I didn't really give music much a thought until after I got out of high school.
Right,
And
right, right.
this is my main instrument now, and I've learned a lot by playing. I've always heard that you always be the least skilled in the room, and that's how you learn how to play instruments, man. Because
Yeah.
they show you, and that's really awesome. I had a guy jamming with me the last weekend, and he was incredible, man. And he was just showing me different things about scales and whatnot, and like I've got a basics of all of that, but
Right, right,
um,
right.
yeah, so guitar is the only one that I can play proficiently. Yes, but man, I'm gonna tell you what I want to learn is piano. Piano's a beautiful, beautiful instrument, and if I ever get an opportunity, I'm gonna get my mother-in-law to show me how to play because she knows some of what to do. But I've always wanted to learn piano.
You should.
Yeah,
Like you really should. Like it but I mean, so from what I've heard and I don't know, and I mean musicians in here can confirm, but I've heard that really once you've learned one string instrument that the others are pretty easy to pick up. Like
yeah.
man, I'm trying to get this thing to is
I've
that
I've,
pinned?
I've sort of heard the same. You just you gotta know the differences. Like the banjo, for instance, the bottom one is like the one I have, the top one is a thinner string than the other four. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of as long as you know the differences, but the basics, the fretboard and all that good jazz, the same. If you know the notes, you can play it.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing is sitting down and learning the notes.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, well, man, I hope you get to do it, man. I hope
Yes,
like I mean,
sir.
it's good that you have somebody in your family though that can kind of show you and you knowing music, knowing notes, chords, all that. I mean, you should pick it up quick, man. No problem.
Right, right. And you can get bogged down in theory and stuff and whatnot, man. But picking it up and actually playing with it is the way I found best of learning stuff, man.
I'll be honest with you, man. I know people that play by ear and
Yeah.
have their whole life that probably play better than people that have music theory.
Oh yeah, man. It's
I'm
completely.
serious. Like I'm not. Although music theory is good, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'd really like to learn a little bit more myself. I've actually kind of inquired a little bit about learning more about music theory and everything, mainly because I dabble in writing
Okay.
and I really want to get more into writing myself. So, yeah, definitely, it's not a bad thing. But like I said, I do know people that play by ear
Yeah.
that can probably outplay music theory
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. And I mean,
to
man, we had
to
this
the
lady.
common ear.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
We had this lady, man, and she would throw down on piano, but she couldn't read a lick of music, man.
yeah,
But she would throw down, like you say, man, and she was
yeah,
awesome. And we had a classically trained pianist,
yeah,
and they were both great. But you could tell, for me, man, music comes from the soul and feeling, and you
yeah.
can tell when somebody's just playing sheet music and when they feel what they're playing or singing. You know what I
Absolutely,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Um, what accomplishments do you see yourself achieving in the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh man, I I'm not really. I'm not really accomplishment driven. I don't think, man.
Kind of go with the flow, kind of.
Exactly. I kind of take the opportunities as they come, just like this right here, man.
Yeah,
This was not planned at all. Maybe eventually in the future, but when things come my way, man, I take it as a blessing. And
yeah,
because I know, I'm no Nashville recording artist as our sister Sarah there or anybody. So I'm just a small town Southern guy, man, just trying to be heard.
yeah.
So any win, anything is a win for me. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
so I mean, I've tried different things. I've done the American Idol route. I made it to the executive producer round, and they kicked me out. So I've done all of those things. And,
Man, I
and
tell you what, dude. I give you respect for that. Just knowing what that contract looks like. I've seen it. I've
yeah,
seen it. I've read it, and like you literally are signing all of your music away.
yeah, really,
Yeah, and people don't realize the sacrifice that musicians are doing by going on that show. Like that's a huge sacrifice, especially if you've worked as hard on your music as say like Adam Clouser or somebody like that. That you know what I'm saying?
right,
It's just man, I can't stand behind it myself, man.
yeah,
I'm like, that's your life's work. Like you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into that, and you're just gonna sign it away. And it may
right.
not ever get heard. It may not ever get heard from that point. It's like, yeah, I can't. So yes, hats off to you, props because you did sacrifice to do that, and
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of people don't know. A lot of people don't know.
And I mean, and that kind of goes back to, I was chasing that, kind of recognition for a little while because I'm definitely, who doesn't like a good compliment and kind of,
Yeah, right.
the gratification of being somewhere like that and all kind of good jazz, just kind of solidifying that I could be a musician,
I
and
think by human nature we want the acceptance for one,
right, right,
and
exactly,
two, we want to know if our heart's in the right place. We want to know that what we're doing is right for others. Like we just because music is healing, music helps, and you just if your heart's in the right place with it, then you want to know. Those compliments make you know that you're doing the right thing.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly right. And then that's kind of been my, not really New Year's resolution, but I've kind of come to the conclusion after going through the American Idol and The Voice and all that good jazz. I'm just kind of like, some of the biggest artists and some of the people that have made it the farthest weren't in it for the recognition, man. They were in it
yeah,
for the music, and the recognition came whenever they
yeah,
put out the quality music,
100%.
and that's something that I feel like chasing that a lot of people lose sight of what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Just like you said, we're supposed to be helping and we're supposed to be, being heard, telling stories, doing stuff like that. And if all we're doing is chasing recognition, which, like I say, nothing against the American Idols, the Voice
yeah.
guys, there's been some incredible artists come from there.
Yeah.
But most of us doing that, we're just looking for the recognition, and so, that's kind of where I'm at now. Is I'm not really accomplishment driven. I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, man.
I
And
feel you,
do
man,
the
and
best
I
I can.
respect that. I love it, dude, because it's like, I mean, and it's not just with music; it's even with what I'm doing. Like, I have to check myself. Like that's the First Corinthians, like on my cup, the First
Right,
Corinthians 13:13, faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. When I started this thing, God was like, "Do this out of love.
right,
Do this out of love, and in anything you do, if you do it out of love." And that's the scripture that was given to me when I started this thing, and that's what I try to do. And I just try to keep it loving, and God's blessed it because of that. Because and I'm not. I've been guilty of it, of seeking that self recognition. And I let some fame get to me before. Like
right,
I know all of that, and so I had to be knocked down to my knees and humbled
right.
to get to where I am today, right? So it's yeah, it goes with anything you do, not just with musicians, but especially with musicians, man, for
Right,
sure.
right. And then, going back to that, I was playing with a guy. He was a Nashville session musician, and he was telling me all these good stories. He's played with Alan Jackson. He's played with all the greats. And he was just saying, man. He said, what I'm doing now is what the same things that he was doing, and he
Yeah,
was chasing the fame in Nashville, and he went that route, but he wound up coming back because he said he lost the love for the music.
yeah,
And like I say, nothing against Nashville, anybody that makes it up there, because man, hey, I'd love to record in Nashville and be in Nashville.
you
Um,
you
and
can.
yeah, and,
I
and
mean,
and and that's but that was the thing, man. He was just saying that if you keep your core values, the rest will come.
yeah,
And that's what he was trying to say, because he still plays to this day. He's an older guy now, and he doesn't play quite as much. But he was
yeah.
saying that just taking a step at a time, and taking what comes, and not worrying about being the biggest, brightest star. Just doing what we do, man. You
You
know.
can totally get wrapped up to where it becomes like a job you hate.
Right,
It
right,
can, and you get burnt out. So yeah, you definitely have to be careful for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I've
awesome,
heard I've
man.
heard of great Billy Joel. I don't know if you heard his interview, but he was like, man, he got to the point where he had the reason he didn't put songs out for so long is because he hated it, man.
Yeah,
You know.
but the
So
industry can do that too. I mean, the
yeah,
games that they play, the hoops you got to jump through. I mean, that can really wear down on a person, especially if they're trying to get to the top. But like you said, though, you go with the flow. You do it because you love it, and things happen for a reason.
right,
And if it's in God's timing, it's going to happen in His timing.
right,
So,
right.
100% for
Yeah.
sure.
And that's kind of where I'm at, man. I prayed about it, and I'm like, hey, you know, whatever platform God gives me, I'm happy with it.
I love it, man. I love it, dude. You're my kind of cat.
Oh, thank you, man.
So, do you have any other hobbies or interests outside of music?
Yes. I'm a hunter when I can be. Nowadays, it's very hard to get in the woods. You got responsibilities and cheering and all kind of good
Yeah,
jazz.
yeah.
So I've got a couple. I've got a couple this year so far.
Okay, right
But I
on.
love to fish. I love to hunt. I'm an outdoors person. All in all, anything outdoors, and I'm very. I don't know. I'm a progress kind of guy, man. I
Yeah,
love to see things change and see. I love to build stuff with my hands, all
yeah.
kind of good shit, stuff.
Okay.
But so yeah, I've got a bunch of hobbies, man. A lot of them that I've kind of dabbled in. I get too much, really. I get too
Yeah,
much going on, and,
I
and it
know
gets
what you
hard to
mean,
keep up
man.
with everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
because man, I've tried restoring motorcycles. I'm also a motorcycle rider, so we try to be all the time working on old motorcycles and
yeah,
building stuff and doing all kind of crazy stuff, man. So I'm always into something. My wife would get. I tried to one year I was decided I was going to plant this huge garden of
yeah.
corn. And I planted. They came up real nice and pretty, but I never got any corn out of it. So that was that was a fun experience. So man, I just
Watching your corn pop up in rows, and there wasn't any damn rows.
yeah, exactly,
You got there and
exactly.
you got one little corn stalk about that long. That's funny.
Man, Yeah, but yeah, I get a lot of times I get it over my head. But yeah, outdoor stuff, man. Fishing. I took my son fishing for the first time. The it was about a year ago. That was the greatest, man. And I hope I can take him hunting soon. But I probably won't see anything if I take him. But I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun anyway.
It'd be nice, man. That was kind of one of the the highlight of me taking somebody hunting. I wish it was my son, but it was not. He never got into it. He didn't want to do it, and so my highlight of hunting was my father-in-law had never been hunting.
Oh, okay.
One year, me and my brother-in-law went in. We bought him a crossbow,
Oh,
and I had some land that was owned by Ideal Homes. It was undeveloped. It was close to a river, and I had some tree stands, some feeders set up, and everything. I was like, "Hey, we bought you this crossbow. Let's go home and take you hunting. I'm gonna put you in my stand. I'm gonna put you on a deer." And first time out, and me and my brother-in-law went to a different place on the property, and we weren't in that tree stand 30 minutes before he's texting me going, "Hey, I got a deer down." I'm like, "You got what?" like,
look at that.
talk about beginner's luck, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my father-in-law, we lost him 3 years ago. I do have his crossbow. It's in my closet here. It was given back to me. My mother-in-law gave it to me. So I do have that heirloom from him, and it's got
Exactly.
special
And you
meaning
got the
because
memory, man.
I was able to take him out and put him on his first deer of his entire life, man.
Exactly.
So
You got that core memory, man.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, absolutely. I love it, man. I love it. That's good stuff right there. You got
So I
another
took
song? You want to do another song for us?
Yeah, I was going to tell a story real quick if that's
Okay, yeah,
okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I took my wife hunting for the first time this year, man, and
Okay.
I think she's in here, so she might get mad at me for telling the story. But anyway, so I took her the first time. I put up a little blind. She's not going to climb anything, man, or anything like that. So, and I get her out there, and we got deer coming in every day, man, every day about routine and stuff, and I'm gonna put her on one just like you said. We weren't in there maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
They come trotting out, man. And I said, all right, get your gun up, get ready. So she gets all ready, man, and she's getting down there, get him in the scope, and I just knew any minute, man. She clicked the safety. I was like, she's finna shoot, man. She's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, she pops up. She like looks over there at me. She's like, "Which one?" I was like, "Any of them. They're all big enough to shoot."
Just take one.
So she gets back down in there, man. She gets ready again, and then she popped up. She's like, "I'm scared." I was like, "Do you mind if I shoot?" She's like, "No." And we laid one down, man. But it was a great time anyway. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always remember that, just like your father-in-law, man. It's a core memory. Even though we didn't, she didn't shoot one. I hope to take her back soon.
So I used to shoot competition compound bow,
Yeah.
and so but I remember the first time going hunting with a compound bow,
Yeah.
bro. I was so shaky I couldn't even pull it back.
Right.
Like I couldn't even pull. I'm like I'm drawing back, and I'm like can't even get it back. I'm like, what the
Right.
hell?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, guys. Real quick reminder before Kirk gives us another song. 20 of the hat and mustaches, guys. That should be an easy goal. But if we reach that goal, the top gifter above and beyond, we'll get the Coffee Bean Vet package giveaway from my sponsor, Coffee Bean Vet. You'll get the bag of coffee, you'll get the tumbler, and a couple of decals from them and me. So got to reach that goal, though. If I don't reach that goal, I don't have an above and beyond to go off of. So let's hit that goal. 20 of the hat and mustaches, guys. And Kirk's going to lead us off with another song.
I don't know if anybody knows Drake White, man, but I love him, man. He's a great artist, man. Real. I seen him live, man, and he's all
Very underrated. So I
Yes,
have
he
no
was.
idea why that dude is not at the top. I mean,
right.
love him. Love him. He's one of my favorite. One of my favorite.
I love spring and dogs and rusty screen doors. Candlelight on a creaky wood floor. A good sunrise and fireflies in a jar. A banjo ringing through the pines. The way I feel on homemade wine and jug fishing under a sky full of stars. Said I'm okay. Yeah, I'm just fine. Well, I just wish the world would move slower, or that we could go back in time. Yeah, I'm still down on Southern boy. I don't need nothing, just enough to get me by. I was raised at an early age when you shake a man's hand, you look him square in his eyes. I'm a real cool old school, don't you lie to me, fool, they ain't a dang thing about me fake. I'm a modern day John Wayne, God, my daddy's last name, 50 years too late, yep. Well, now whatever happens when honest days work, working hard in a flannel shirt. It's a modern, oh, I'm sorry. It's a fast-paced rat race, all give and no take. Who's gonna finish first? Well, nowadays it's safe to say that a dang dog's got more rights. Cause the administration trying to rule the population. Folks, we gotta stand up and we gotta fight. But I don't complain, I take it all in stride. Well, it just seems the whole world has changed, and it's almost overnight. Yeah, I'm still down on Southern, boy. I don't need nothing, just enough to get me by. I was raised at an early age when you shake a man's hand, you look him square in his eyes. I'm a real cool old school, don't you lie to me, cause they ain't no dang thing about me fake. I'm a modern day John Wayne, got my daddy's last name, 50 years too late. Yeah, I'm still down on Southern, boy. I don't need nothing, just enough to get me by. I was raised at an early age when you shake a man's hand, you look him square in his eyes. I'm a real cool old school, don't you lie to me, fool, there ain't a dang thing about me fake. I'm a modern day John Wayne, got my daddy's last name, 50 years too late, yeah.
Let's go, bro. Hey, I'm not even kidding you, man. Like I can jack with that stuff, man, all day long, bro. I can put my playlist on for him all day long, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. God, he's got so many great songs, man.
He's incredible, man.
It's fun. So Wyatt Zane here in Oklahoma, him and I are really close. I actually tell a lot of people he's like a second son to me. And but him and I are working on a couple songs together, and him and I both thoroughly enjoy Drake White.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, totally, man. Golly, I think you and I just
his
become
type
best
of
friends.
music.
We just became best friends, dude. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah, his type of music is just incredible, and that's what I love about all his stuff, man. It's straight shooting, man. He's real.
Yeah,
I used to watch back during COVID when I really became a big fan of his. Whenever he was doing his lives, I can't remember what he called them.
Yes.
But he was in this barn. You know, every it was like Wednesday night therapy. That's what it was.
Yeah, Wednesday night therapy, and then the one he did the one at the like club or whatever, the bar there close by his place that.
Yeah.
And it was a release of a new song that him and two other guys wrote together, and that was a cool live, man. I loved that live.
Yeah,
it was great.
And that's what I say, man. And he's been through a lot, man. He's got a lot. He's doing a whole lot better.
Yeah.
But man, I saw him twice, and the first time I saw him was at Gulf Coast Jam.
Yeah,
it was a while back. This guy, I mean, he ran all over the stage. He was climbing speakers. I mean, he was just everywhere, you know. and to see it now, you know, it's a little different, but he's still the same person, man. And I just love to listen to his stories and all of his songs. Like I say, just straight shooting. That's the type of writing that I want to do. You know, and you know, man, if I can,
just so real and raw, man. Just
that's what I mean. You know?
Yeah, I love it, man. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Guys, I got the goal up there of the hat and mustaches. If we don't reach that goal, I can't give the coffee away this week. I'll have to move it to next week. 20 of them, 99 coins, guys. That's not a hard goal to reach. We hit that goal, and that also helps me with my lives and my algorithm by reaching those goals. So help me reach my goal, guys.
Thank you, Sarah.
And let's get that coffee giveaway going. You're not going to regret it. It is some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life. I promise you. You're going to want to order more once you have it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, man, you made my night, brother. I'm telling you right now. You threw some Drake White in there, man, and I'm just like, I'm all flabbergasted now. I can't even hardly come up with what I even want to ask next here. So, What strengths do you what strengths do you have that you believe make you a great musician?
Well, I think being at the core of a musician, you got to have empathy for people. You got to care what people are going through, and
Yeah,
especially being a writer,
mm,
you try to relate to people,
yeah,
and,
preach
and
it.
you try to help them out. And so I
Yeah,
think I think me being as caring as I am, I may be a little too caring at times because I get burnt sometimes, but
yeah,
I think that as a musician is one of my biggest strengths because everything that I write, and I'm super critical about everything that I do. I worry about connecting, and that's the thing. If I could connect, if I could help one person, that's all that matters. But that's my thing is putting out quality stuff that's gonna
yeah,
help somebody, that's gonna connect with somebody,
absolutely,
and
man.
be what it's meant to be.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I may be way off track because, like I said, I'm
no,
not, I do it as, I'm not a professional. This is not my everyday job, but I'm trying to be there. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. No, I get it, and I think you hit it right on, man. It's all about that one person you can reach, man. If you
Right.
reach one person, then you've succeeded in what your goal is as a musician, and that's to help somebody, or whether it's healing that they need in their life, or they're just a word of encouragement that they need to just get to the next day. I mean,
Right.
you never know what people are going through, man. You don't. Um, somebody, Donnie Hobbs, welcome in, brother. Somebody, there's actually a clothing line now. I see it on Facebook all the time. I'm scrolling it, and they're doing like these hoodies that says, I think it's the Till Valhalla project that does it, but
Okay.
they've got
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
hoodie out now that's called that everyone out there is going through a battle you'll never understand,
Right. Right.
and that is so true. And the thing I love about music the most is good music, okay? Because let's face it, there's a lot of garbage out there today, but good music really hits the soul. It really digs deep, and it has healing. I mean, I can preach all day long on them. I mean, let's just, you can. I'll just leave it at look at Jelly Roll, like
Yeah. Right. Right.
seriously, 100% helping so many people through addictions and everything else. So no, I think you hit it right, spot on, brother, spot on.
Yeah. And that goes back to what we were talking about before. He does that to help people, and look where he is now. I mean,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
he's killing it. Big
He
time.
does it out of love, and because
Right.
of that, God's blessing him, man.
Right.
And religious people can naysay and say all they want about the man, but he is doing God's work, whether they want to see it or believe it or not. He's doing God's work 100%. Um, and he knows it so much, in fact, that he's talking about, what if I'm being called to ministry?
Right.
Like
Right.
even himself, like he knows he has a higher calling. Like
Right.
he feels it. So it's great, man. I love it. I
And
love
see,
it.
he's been through things, man,
Yeah.
and he can connect with a certain people that
Yeah.
maybe me and you couldn't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I mean, and that's the beauty of
But
doing
at the
this.
same time, there's people you're going to connect with that he can't. And that's the
Right.
beauty of music, man. That's the
Right.
beauty of music.
And doing this, I feel like we're given, like I say, whatever platform I'm given is a blessing, and I appreciate it. But that's my thing is you never want to beat anybody down just because they don't look the same we do, or they've been through things, because he's got his audience, he's got his people that he's meant
Yeah.
to minister to, just like me, and you know
Yeah.
what you're doing, your podcast and things like that. You're helping so many people. I mean, there's no way that some of these people would get the recognition or the exposure that you're giving to independent artists, man. You're doing incredible work as well,
Well,
and so
thank you.
that's what I mean. We all have our lane, and
Yeah.
I want to be in my lane and do it to the best of my ability.
I'm
You
just
know,
trying to be obedient, man. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
1 Corinthians 13:13, man. Let's
right,
go. I'm just being obedient, brother. So I do appreciate that though, because it makes me feel like I'm on the right path, man.
right.
So I do appreciate that for sure. Um, what's your creative style like? What what's that
Well,
process look like for you?
so I'm really, like I said, I love storyteller songs. So that's basically everything that I have written so far.
Yeah.
I'm not really. I'm having a really hard time trying to like write the catchy tunes.
Yeah.
You know, And I know that's what gets people's attention a lot more. Thank you, Emily. I see you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Um, and I know that that's what gets people's attention and things of that nature. But it's really hard for me to take away from the story to be catchy, you
Yeah.
know. So for me, I guess telling a story is my main creative process. I'm real lyrically driven, and I don't know if it's because of my music handicap because I'm not technically trained or anything. But I'm real lyric heavy.
Yeah.
I kind of start off with lyrics and then just try to put music to it.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see how that works. I don't know. I haven't put anything out yet. I've got a guy that I'm working with. He's an incredible artist too, Tim Stewart. I'm going to invite him to some of our stuff. He's a Christian artist,
Okay.
and he has his own. He's released a bunch of stuff on Spotify and whatnot. So he's kind of trying to help me get into that world.
Yeah.
And he's been technically he's done songwriter classes and things of that nature. So he's been a real help.
Okay.
Um, so like, yeah, that's what we'll see how it goes, man.
That's good. That's cool, man. I'm glad
Hopefully,
that you have
hopefully,
somebody to lean into for that. So, speaking of gospel music, and you may be interested in this. In February, starting in February, myself along with Jeremy Rowe, very good friend of mine, and Jeremy Conway. I don't know if you're familiar with Jeremy Conway, but he does
I'm
he does
so
some praise and worship and stuff in Nashville. But we got together. Jeremy Rowe hit me up about doing a once a week worship service, just straight up music boxes, praise and worship music only,
yeah,
and I'll give some devotionals of the host. No less, no preaching, no, but just some good quality worship time with God.
right.
We're going to be doing that starting in February, every Friday night, 7 p.m. So I'll have the boxes open for gospel music to come in and just do, rounds. It's your turn, your turn, your turn kind of thing. And then as we get musicians come in, we'll rotate in and out, whatever. But Jeremy approached me about that. What's funny is I'd been planting seeds in Jeremy's life for a few years now and
Yeah,
had no idea that God was watering those seeds. And he popped into one of my lives one morning. I was just hanging out, had the boxes open, musicians come in and play if they want, just normal live. And he goes, "Hey, I wrote a song 2 days ago. I want to share it with you." And I was like, "Okay, cool, right?" We're buddies. He's done that before. No big deal. Wasn't thinking nothing of it. We wrote a gospel praise and worship song, man. And I'm like, whoa. Like
awesome.
because he's always been like, this is out of my wheelhouse. I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm a country guy, 100% through and through. But apparently, God's been watering some seeds that I wasn't aware of. And he's made a good turnaround, and he's serving the Lord, and he's trying to be obedient. And he brought the idea to me about doing the every Friday deal. Like he was like, "I want you to host it," and he goes, "Let's do this." And I'm like, "Let's go, let's go. I'm
That'd
here
be
for
great.
it."
That'd be
So
great.
if you're interested, absolutely, every
Yeah,
Friday night, starting in February from now on. So it'll be my second night of the month to have anything going on for Red Dirt Disciple Live. The third thing is I'm working on a talk show with Pastor Nate Hunt from the Morning Jam. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. He does a show on here, the Morning Jam, every morning, and he's a
wow.
pastor out of Missouri, and we're working on doing a talk show together. Just a
Okay.
talk show. So it might be 3 nights a week. You guys are gonna get to see my ugly
Yeah.
mug.
Man, you're gonna be busy, man. But that's great though, man. That's
That's
wonderful.
I mean, it's just doors. I mean, it's just doors that are opening, and I'm just walking through, and I'm being obedient as well. And this is my passion. I've
Right.
always been. I know this isn't about me, but I've always been. From a young age, I got involved in radio. I've done commercial spots. I've done DJing. I've done co-hosting. I've done MC concerts. I've managed musicians. So I've been involved in a lot, and the huge void that I've missed in my life for a long time is this independent artist. That's where my heart is, and from that point, God is just opening doors. And I told my wife the other night, I said, I want to die doing what I love. I don't want to die working for somebody else and making them rich.
Right.
I want to die doing what I love, and this is what I love. You guys are where my heart is at, and it's where it's always been. It's where it'll always be. till I
Right.
die,
Right.
for sure. So that's so I'm just like Jeremy. I'm just being obedient, man, and
And that's where we're kindred spirits, man. We
yeah,
just want to do what we're supposed to do, what we feel passionate about, and what we love doing
yeah,
for the Lord. And I same man, ditto. You know,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, we've talked a lot about where your heart is, and I probably already know the answer to this and everything. And but describe to me your favorite part about being a musician, and then your least favorite part. It's a kind of a two
okay,
part question.
well, my favorite part, like I say, it it's really man. I've got a story about this little girl. I posted it on my Facebook a while back, and this is what I meant when I say connection, man. This little girl, I was playing. I think I was playing a wedding or something, and I'm just going about my normal gig routine, man. I play a song, talk a little bit, and I noticed this little girl, and she was there. She kind of separated herself from the group of people, and she was standing there listening, really intently, and
Yeah,
I could tell that she was, kind of picking up what I was putting down. She was enjoying it, and she came up to me, man, and this really, touched my soul, man. She came up to me, and she told me, she said, I love your singing." And I said, "Oh, thank you, sweetheart." Anytime, especially a child is probably one of the most honest people you're ever
yeah.
gonna meet in your life,
Out
man.
of the mouth
So,
of babes. Yeah,
I take their compliments above anybody else's. So she come up and she told me that she loved the way I was singing, and she loved the songs I was singing. And I told her, I said, "Oh, thank you, whatever." And I have my tip jar out there, and she said, "I don't have any money, but I have this." And she dropped a little plastic diamond that she had in her pocket in my tip jar, man. And I almost broke down bawling right there, man. And I didn't even know what to say. I was so like taken aback, man. And I was just, I was like, "Whoa!" This little girl gave me the only thing she had to show that she appreciated what I was doing.
yeah,
And that type of connection, man, with somebody, not saying that she needed to give me a tip or anything, but I knew that I had connected with her because of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's what I mean. That connection and knowing when you do that is incredible. And that's my favorite part about being a
yeah.
musician. I got the diamond steel that she gave me on my in my music room here, and I'll keep it on my desk, man, because that's just an inspiration right there. That little
That's
girl,
amazing, bro.
yeah,
That's
it's super sweet, man. Super
I
sweet.
have I have things like that too, man. I can talk all day on stuff like that, bro. I got a we got where are we at here? Let's check out the time. Trying to be conscious of the time here.
Right, right, yeah.
And
The conversation's good, man.
yeah, it is. It is. So we're about yeah, we're close to 10 minutes to the top of the hour. So reminding you guys, 10 minutes to the top of the hour, I've got to hit 20 of those hats up there to reach my goal, my live goal. And the reward for that is above and beyond gifter gets the coffee giveaway, the coffee bean dot vet, and the tumbler that goes with it, and a few decals, one red dirt disciple decal and a coffee bean vet. um, so but I have a so I'm huge in the off-road community. I actually even used to own a Jeep club here.
Oh, cool, man.
My best friend started the largest Jeep club in Oklahoma is Red Dirt Jeeps, and he started that. He's the original founder. He's not over it anymore. But when the split of Red Dirt happened, there was other clubs that kind of started, and I started one called Okie Rebel Jeeps, and I we we have a veteran that is he has a rare case of skin cancer,
Mm.
and he spent a lot of time in the Middle East in his tours and stuff in the military, and he was having death wobble really bad on his Jeep. Couldn't afford to fix it, so a lot of us in the off road community got together. We raised the money, and me and my best friend Bug, that owned Red Dirt Jeeps, and another really good friend of mine, we all three did all the work on the Jeep, to the point that we even got him all four new tires, like five tires. We even got him a spare. Yeah. So, and he gave me a coin that apparently in the military, those coins are a big thing. If somebody in the military gives you one of those coins, it is a very large, like it's a very large sign of appreciation and
Right.
an honor to have one of those. And I still have it right here on my desk back behind. I'm not going to try to reach up for it, but so I know what you mean. It's just
Right.
those simple acts of kindness that you do where you've touched somebody enough to, like, I had no idea how big of a deal that was with
Right.
in the military culture for, it to me, it's like, okay, it's just a coin. It's cool. It's a coin. But to him, that was a huge sign of appreciation
Yeah.
for just the simple gesture of doing what we did for him,
Yeah.
So I get it 100%, man. I love it. It's great
Yeah,
stuff.
and stuff like that, man. Like I said in the post, I mean, that I took extra care to get that little plastic diamond out of there. I mean, and ultimately it's useless monetarily,
Yeah.
but that was more worth anything in that jar, man. And just
Yeah.
like your coin, man, it's worth much more if you got than if you had gotten paid for that job.
Yeah, absolutely. As I'll cherish that thing forever, man. Just
Right.
knowing that,
Right.
I was able to, do what we did for him. And again, it was just being obedient, man. I was just like, we got to help this guy out. This is his only vehicle. He's sacrificed so much for this country. We got to do something for him. And
Right.
so we made it happen. It was a great experience. So the second part of that question is, what's your least favorite part about being a musician?
It's hard for me to come up with a least favorite part, because I mean, everything has its downside. I think it's really the pressure. Um, I get, and it's probably more self inflicted than anything. But the pressure to perform well, I think, is the main thing.
Mm,
Because you want to do your best, no matter what. But I feel like, and like I say, it may be more self inflicted than anything. But I just feel sometimes I feel such a pressure to try to be perfect and do everything the right way, and I'm slowly working on that. I know
yeah.
that people, man, especially with live music, step mess ups are going to happen.
Yeah.
And I saw the great Vince Gill in the Impact a while back. Me and my wife went to see him, and he forgot the words to his lyrics, or he forgot the words to his song,
Yeah.
his own song, and he'd
Yeah.
been playing it for probably 40 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that kind of opened my eyes. I'm like, man, even the greats
Yeah.
mess up,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and so that's kind of my least favorite is the pressure a little bit to be to try to be perfect,
Yeah.
and it was kind of instilled in me to a young age to do my best, and I do strive to do my best, but
Right.
I'm kind of a little bit too hard on myself sometimes. So that's probably my least favorite.
We're our own people that strive to be successful and hustle their career. We're our own worst critics.
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Like I'm very hard on myself. Like my wife has to dial me back.
They're a voice
Cuz
of reason, man. They are.
yeah, yeah. And it's just because we have so much passion in our hearts for what we're doing that we want it to be perfect.
Right.
And so that's actually a good characteristic. To me, it is. To me, it's a good characteristic.
Yeah.
It could be a downfall. It could be viewed as that, but I feel like that as long as you are your own worst critic to make yourself better and not so much that you're so hard on yourself that you're tearing yourself down, there's a
Right.
difference there, right? There's a fine line.
Definitely.
So yeah, definitely agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I know my
Um,
wife. She probably gets sick of me. I do like when I do videos on here and stuff. I'll do 18 takes, man, and I'll run in there and be like, "Hey, which one's your favorite?" And she has to go through all the videos, and she's like, "You did fine, like 10 takes ago." So
one of these days I'm going to post my bloopers of
all
me,
right.
like, seriously, like me creating promo videos. If you have no idea some of the stuff I say to myself, like I will be in the middle of it and I'll go, yeah, I don't really like that, so I'm going to go ahead and back the hell out of this, and I'm just going to start that over because that's bullshit. Like I'm like
Yeah.
but I'm continuing to talk like I'm doing my
Right.
I'm seriously going to post some of my bloopers one of these days. I'm going to record them and I'm going to post them because it's hilarious. How many times I do. And the thing is I don't script nothing, dude. I do it off the top of my dome. So I may start over 10 times before I got it down, man. Um,
Right. Right.
I got to do the little puzzle piece here. So we're right at the hour here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jay, I see
did,
your comment, man. That is actually our wedding sign-in book. Is that guitar right there? Everybody that came to our wedding signed that guitar. That was my first one I ever got. Um,
nice.
so that was our that was how we had people sign in our guitar.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you, and then we'll end this thing with a song.
Yes, sir.
Who's your ideal artist to collaborate with? Like, one artist out of your entire life that you could collab with, who would it be?
Man, really, at this point, I'm down for like any collaboration, man. That's my thing. Like I'm saying, I just go with the flow, man. So hey, if there's anybody in here that needs a collaboration, I'm your guy, man. I'll do
Right there, right there. Look, Sarah. Sarah's like,
it.
Sarah's
Right.
got her hand up here. I can
Right.
see it right now.
And that's actually been kind of my. I don't really do resolutions, but I like to set goals.
Yeah,
And my goal is not only like to collaborate, but to get together with musicians. Because last
yeah,
year I barely got together with anybody because I feel like that's kind of where us as musicians are fed
yeah,
when we get together with other musicians and we play and we bounce ideas off each other.
yeah.
And we do things like that because I always leave a jam session feeling like just renewed and
Yeah,
inspired. And so
absolutely.
I'm really going to endeavor this year, whether it be electronically, in real life, because there's a bunch of talent here where I am,
Yeah,
and I just want to get like kind of immersed more into the scene because I feel like that's where you grow, and that's what I was saying before, get out of my comfort zone and just try to, to get with other people. I see the triangle thing. We can do that.
that is funny.
Hey, if you know
Uh,
how to do a cowbell, man, that'd be great.
so I just got to meet her today. I was in a live with her earlier. Yeah, that's she's funny. Uh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, hey, so check it. So, men, look into this. I don't know if you have time or not, but Tammy Marler, I mentioned her earlier. She's doing a songwriters camp this month, later on this month, and it's a fraction of the cost of what a writers camp normally cost.
Right.
But uh, Terry Joe Box is going to be there. The songwriter we're interviewing tomorrow night will be there. She's the one giving the lessons and
Oh wow.
like so that would be and I know Tammy told me she's got a few spots left and she's looking for some people to fill those spots. If that's something you're interested in, bro, I will send you the information.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Because it's got the number you need to call and everything. But to me, if I was heavy into songwriting like I want to be eventually, I would be all over that, especially knowing that Terry Joe's going to be there. Like
Right.
that would be like just a phenomenal thing as a songwriter to be involved in
To get into that, yeah.
and to be able to learn from someone like her of that magnitude would be absolutely wonderful. So if you're interested in any way, shape, or form, I'll send you the information. I know it's short notice. It's in It's in Texarkana. It's at Tammy's place in Texarkana. So, and Tammy's a great songwriter herself. So, if you don't follow her, she's on TikTok. She goes live quite often.
Yeah.
She's an
I
amazing
think we
writer.
followed each other today. After you made the announcement that I was going to be here.
It's quite possible.
Followed her right
It's
back.
quite possible because we do talk quite often, and we've grown a very deep relationship musically wise, and so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that if she saw one of my videos and went, "Oh, another artist, let me grab them up," because she's always looking for people that want to do her songs. I think her and Sarah have been talking. I think she's pitched some songs to Sarah, and so.
Awesome.
But I'll send you the information.
Yes, sir.
I got your number now. We'll talk. So And once you end us with a song, brother, I know we're at the top of the hour, but we can go a little over. It's fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What they say when the preacher goes over? Hey, keep going, man.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Keep on preaching, pal. Well, as we talked about earlier, I'm also a worship leader on Sundays. Well, every day, but that's my job on Sundays, and I enjoy that one probably the most because that singing in church is just the sweetest thing ever. And so I would like to end it, like I said, and I thank God for all the opportunities that I have. So I'd like to sing a gospel song to end off with, if that's okay with you, sir.
Let's go. I'm here for it.
Hear the voice of love that's calling. There's a chair that waits for you, and a friend who understands everything you're going through. But you keep standing at a distance, in the shadow of your shame. There's a light of hope that's shining. Won't you come and take your place and bring it all to the table? There's nothing he ain't seen before. All your sin, all your sorrow and your sadness, there's a Savior and he calls. Bring it all to the table. He can see the weight you carry, the fear you hold inside your heart. Through the cross you've been forgiven, you're accepted as you are. So bring it all to the table. There's nothing he ain't seen before. All your sin, all your sorrow and your sadness, there's a Savior and he calls. Bring it all to the table. And bring it all to the table. There's nothing he ain't seen before. For all your trials, all your worries and your burdens, there's a Savior and he calls. He'll bring it all to the table. Bring it all to the table.
Amen, bro. Hey, I need you on my live in February. At least once or twice a month, man. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Like,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm down whenever you are, boss.
Yeah, that's great, bro. That's great. I love it. Guys, unfortunately, unless I give a little bit more time, 5 minutes, I am not going to be able to give my coffee bean coffee away. We did not hit any goals at all tonight. I even reduced it down. I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe the money gun's just too much. I'll make it easier. I thought for sure the cowboy hat and mustache was going to get it, man, and 20 of them was not that big a deal. But it didn't happen. We did not get our goal, so I guess I'll be giving coffee away next week. But real quick before I go, guys, if you are interested, if you enjoy what I do here, if you love what you've seen tonight and you want to see more of it, I got to keep going. I have goals myself, and I have passions in life that I have uh, to do to make myself successful in this. And one of those things is my Nashville project. And God has opened the door for that. The studio time's paid for, but my living expenses are not. So if you're interested in seeing me continue on with this and you like what I'm doing here, you like supporting independent artists and people who support them, $5 entry to Red Dirt Disciple Cash App, all one word. $5 per entry. You can enter as many times as you want for the Red Dirt Disciple 40-ounce tumbler. I want to say that last plug, and I want to say most of all, Curk, thank you very much for joining today. You didn't have to. You probably had plans tonight, and you changed them for me, and I love that. And I appreciate it, and I thank your wife for me too, because you're taking time from your family too. And if she's still in here, thank you, wife, for allowing your husband to come on to my show tonight.
Yes, sir. Hey, thank you
So
so much again, man. Thank you for what you do for us, man. We
yeah,
appreciate it. Like I
I'm,
say, you give
it's my
us
pleasure.
exposure and stuff that we probably wouldn't get otherwise. So
Yeah.
I thank you for what you do and appreciate the opportunity, man. Hey, we're taking it as it comes, man.
It's my pleasure, man, and I'm glad you're a part of my network. You're in my Discord. We talk from time to time, and I appreciate you being in my network. And another thing that a lot of people don't see is that stuff on the backside. They see this and they see, but they don't see the conversations we have on outside the app. They don't see the work we all do together outside the app and things of that nature. So just know that I am not just here interviewing these artists. I am with these artists every day maybe not physically, but spiritually, and I'm there with them, and I'm helping them, and I'm pushing their stuff, and I'm doing what I feel like I'm called to do in this music industry, and that's to help independent artists get their voice heard.
Right.
So, and anybody I work with in my network will tell you that I'm here for it. I'm all about it all day long. I probably talk to Sarah more than I do anybody. Like
Yeah. Hey, you're a good old fella, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. I do. I really do. You guys are a huge part of my heart, man, and there's a big void there without y'all. I can tell you that. So I do. I do appreciate you guys every day more than you know. And so appreciate you coming in, man. I'm gonna send you that information from Tammy,
Yes, sir.
and we'll also get together for the Friday night praise and worship stuff, man. I'm
Definitely,
looking forward to
definitely.
that. Looking
I'm
forward to
excited
that.
for that.
All right, man. God bless you, dude. Thanks for coming in. Guys, good night. And go enjoy your families, dinners, whatever you got to do. I'm looking at maybe changing the time frame of this thing because it's not working out too good. So I think 5 o'clock's a little early for a lot of people. So I have talked to my wife about changing the time frame a little bit. But until now, we'll see you next Wednesday, 5 o'clock. God bless.
God bless. See y'all.
See you.
Thank you, man.